And we say good morning to you. We're broadcasting live. We're here at Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City again on this Tuesday, July the 25th. Normally here on Wednesday, but hey, we're double dipping this week. We're coming twice, having a big time today and tomorrow. Again here at Chick-Fil-A. Big thank you. We were yesterday in West Virginia. Woo. Second biggest show we've ever had, and we want to say thanks to our folks. We had over 3,200 views, continues to grow, and so thank you so very much for that. And we want to say thanks to Brian Roberts from the Brian Roberts Project, also Keith Tyler from the Fellowship of Christian Athletes State Director, Todd Goebel, the Marshall quarterback coach of the Marshall Thundering Herd, Aaron Ferguson stopped by and joined us, of course. Aaron by phone joined us, former Dobbins Minute and Marshall football stars. So we had a big crowd to have get everybody on there, I think. Rick Whitman, the baseball coach of the St. Albans Red Dragons state champion. So big crowd, big viewing, second biggest show ever. And we were in Charleston or South Charleston, West Virginia yesterday. Had a good sales on the old Hardy, so everybody's happy, and thanks again for everybody again in West Virginia. Looks like we're coming back up to almost heaven very soon. We are live again here. We are. We're at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. We've got a full show lined up and ready to go. We're going to be hearing from Alice Corker. Now, Lisa Harper, a Christian comedian coming to town, and she's going to join us and tell us all about that by phone coming up here in a few minutes. Also, we're going to be joined by William Yarber from Mike's Medicine Mart, and also Doug Fritz from the John City Press. All that's coming up here in the next couple of minutes. We have stories for you. The silly season continues for NASCAR. Another driver has made his intentions known for the future. We'll tell you who it is, where he's headed or where he's not headed. We'll tell you all about that. Baseball's in high gear. The pennant races are heating up. The trade deadline's coming up, and so a lot of teams are jockeying for folks. One of the big stars of Major League Baseball on the shelf now for 4 to 6 weeks, so we'll bring you up to speed about that. Florida Gators got a brand new college recruit, one of the quarterbacks that they had sought after, and they've got themselves a quarterback that's going to be very helpful for Florida coach Jim McElwain and the Florida Gators, and so we'll tell you all about who that's going to be, and just a lot of different sports to cover on the local scene. Young man leaving Appalachian State, coming home, if you will, to East Tennessee State. We'll tell you all about that. So we got lots to talk about. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We're live here at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. We'll be right back. Take a look at Major League Baseball next year on the 564th edition of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
This is the place where you can forget.
I got me 3.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th, because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back at the Tom Taylor Sports Show, there you are. Enter win tickets to the Bristol Motor Speedway night races, the UNOH 200, the Bush's Best 150, and Bush's Beans 150, and the Food City 300. Folks already qualified. Go to TomTaylorSports.com/contest. We'll announce the winners you can see coming up on August the 11th. It'll be here before you know it, so be sure and get your name on the list today to win tickets to come see Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s final run around Bristol Motor Speedway. In fact, before we come back, let's take a look right here, this 30-second promo for Dale Jr. Come to Bristol on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
If you're not a race fan and I send you to Bristol, you're going to be a race fan when you leave.
The most popular track on the circuit.
Let me tell you, don't count that 88 out. He's pretty darn good.
Says goodbye to NASCAR's most popular driver.
Hell yeah!
The Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race, August 19th. Your last chance to see Junior run the night race.
Man, this is one of the biggest wins in my career.
Why is that?
It's Bristol, baby!
It's Bristol, baby. Again, Dale Jr. Again, tickets on sale, 423 Bristol, Bristol Tix, or 1-866-415-4158. So, getting ready to go racing in Bristol. In fact, the countdown is on. We're down to 27 days to America's night race, the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race again at Bristol Motor Speedway. Major League Baseball, let's take a look at it first off from yesterday. Again, in the National League, you had White Sox defeating the Cubs in interleague play 3-1. Cleveland over Cincinnati, that's no surprise, 6-2 the final there. Miami blanks Texas 4-0. It was the Cardinals defeating Colorado 8-2. Also, you had Houston all over Philadelphia. That's no surprise, 13-4. Atlanta, Arizona, Diamondbacks win down to the Southwest 10-2. Dodgers over Minnesota 6-4. Clayton Kershaw again went out on Sunday with that injury. Has been announced he is out with 4 to 6 weeks with a major back injury. So, big blow to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Their ace Clayton Kershaw out 4 to 6 weeks. They win last night 6-4 over the Twins. Mets beat San Diego in California 5-3. And it was Pittsburgh all over San Francisco on the left coast. Final there was 10-3. In the American League, Toronto doubles up Oakland 4-2. Baltimore shuts out Tampa Bay 5-0. It was Kansas City and 12 defeating Detroit 5-3. An update on Daniel Norris in a moment. Also, you had Miami blanking Texas 4-0. It was Houston, as we said, over Philadelphia 13-4. Seattle, Boston. Mariners shut out the Red Sox on the left coast 4-0. And again, we told you the Dodgers score over the Minnesota Twins. Here's your schedule for today. One-day game. It's the Cubs. John Lackey on the mound against the White Sox. Again, Ed Wrigley, 2:20 first pitch. Tonight under the lights, Cincinnati moves on to open up a series in New York against the Yankees. Houston at Philadelphia. Milwaukee at Washington. Miami and Texas to battle the Rangers. Colorado taking on the Cardinals at Busch Stadium. Atlanta will be at Arizona. Minnesota against the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium. Mets at San Diego. And Pittsburgh at San Francisco. In the American League, you have Oakland at Toronto, Baltimore at Tampa Bay. The Angels, again, opening up that series in Cleveland. It is Miami taking on Texas, Minnesota continues their series at Dodger Stadium against Los Angeles, and Boston continues their series in Seattle against the Mariners. Here's your standings. First off, in the American League, you have Boston with a 2-game lead over the New York Yankees. Tampa Bay 3.5 games back. In the American League, you have Cleveland with a 1.5 lead over Minnesota. Hot teams right now. You've got the Indians winning 4 in a row. Kansas City 7 out of the last 10. They've won 6 straight. They trail now by 1.5 of Cleveland in the American League Central. And the American League West, Houston leads Seattle by 17 games. Astros have obviously run off of the American League best record right now at 66-33. In the National League, Washington leads Atlanta by 12.5 in the East. In the Central, it's heating up. Again, don't look now. Here comes the Cubs, and here comes the Pirates. Milwaukee with a half-game lead over the Cubs, who've won 8 out of the last 10. Pirates now 2.5 games back. They've won 7 out of their last 10. Cardinals still hanging. They're 4 back, and the Reds going nowhere fast. They are 41-58. They're 11 games out. And so Cubs half game out, Pittsburgh 2.5 out, and the Cardinals 4 out. So it's a tight race in the NL Central. In the National League West, they've won 3 in a row and 8 out of the last 10. The Dodgers continue to be the Dodgers. Best record in baseball, 69-31. And the best record in the American League, again, are the Houston Astros at 66-33. Trade scenarios, don't look now, but it looks like Justin Verlander may be out of Detroit, heading to either Chicago or now the Dodgers, with the fact that Clayton Kershaw's on the shelf 4 to 6 weeks. Their ace, they're looking for help. Here's the problem. Justin Verlander's contract, $56 million left on his contract. The team that trades for Verlander either have to take on that deal entirely, a $56 million price tag, or Detroit has to eat some of the deal to make it work. Either situation, the contract is a hang-up for most teams, except the Dodgers and the Cubs, because they got lots of money to throw around to make it happen. Also, Verlander has an absolute no-trade clause in his contract. Detroit cannot simply trade him anywhere. They have to get his approval, and that may be tough as well because Verlander likes Detroit. So, but the Dodgers, one of the few organizations that could take on most, if not all, that $56 million price tag for Justin Verlander, and the Cubs as well. They're looking for help trying to bolster their pitching staff heading down the stretch. So, again, stay tuned to see where Justin Verlander goes. Trade deadline, of course, coming up this weekend on July the 31st. What's the update on Daniel Norris? Young man out of Johnson City was scheduled for his second rehab start on Sunday with Chick-Fil-A Toledo. They pulled him after only 32 pitches, and he is, as a result of that, a severely pulled groin. As a pitcher, you can't pitch if your groin's hurting, to say the least. Norris was hooked from Sunday's contest after only 32 pitches. Left-hander will stop his rehab assignment in order to go back to Detroit for further medical treatment. Unclear how severe this setback is, but more information on his status should become available once doctors have a chance to examine him. So, again, not good news for Johnson City's Daniel Norris, who, again, pitches in the bigs for the Detroit Tigers. Appalachian League baseball last night here locally. Who did what? You have Appalachian League. It was Pulaski and Greenville rained out last night. Danville beat Kingsport. Bluefield beat Bristol. Johnson City over Burlington. Elizabeth and Twins beat Pulaski. And Princeton, again, in the second game, or I should say first game, won over Greenville. Second game got postponed. So tonight you can watch Appalachian League baseball in Kingsport. K-Met's playing host to Danville. The Bristol Pirates home to Bluefield. Johnson City Cardinals home to Burlington. Elizabeth and Pulaski, and Greenville home again to Princeton. The standings look like this. In the Appalachian League East, you have Bluefield a half-game lead better than Pulaski. In the West, the Tri-Cities Division, Elizabethton with a 1.5 lead over Greenville, and the Johnson City Cardinals are 4 games back. And that's a look at Major League Baseball. Again, it is a busy time, and again, trade deadline coming up. And so trade deadline is, what is it, Sunday? Is it a trade deadline the 31st? When does August 1st kick in, by the way? Trade deadline is Monday. A week from yesterday is trade deadline, so you can better believe over the weekend lots of things going to be happening, and teams are taking a very, very sobering and honest look at their ball club to see how they can help. If you're out of the pennant race, you start selling off your players to put cash and bodies with trades back into your team. So a lot of the teams that are out of the playoffs will be selling guys off for cash and also for players to help them for 2018, as they will have conceded the season at this point. if you're a front runner, as you're trying to get into the playoffs and, of course, into the World Series, you're willing to open up that checkbook and buy players. Case in point, Justin Verlander, again, getting a long, solid look from the Cubs and the Dodgers to help their pitching staffs, as they're both very much independent races in their respective divisions. In fact, the Dodgers are the best team in baseball. But, again, as we said, with Clayton Kershaw out 4 to 6 weeks with a back injury, they need some oomph, if you will, in their starting rotation. Justin Verlander can provide that, and they've got the wherewithal financially to pick up that $56 million price tag that comes with Justin Verlander. So stay tuned. It's going to be interesting. Quick break. We'll come right back. We are here live at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. We'll come right back after this break. We'll check in with Alice Corker, Lisa Harper, a Christian comedian coming to town, and we'll find out about that and hear from Alice Corker coming up next year as we're live at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City on show number 564 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Back on the Tom Dillon Sports Show. We're live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Woo, I tell you what, that frosted lemonade go down easy on a day like today. It's hot and muggy out there, getting into the 90s here in the Tri-Cities today. Of course, across most of the southeast is going to be in the 90s, or some of this world-famous iced tea, or a peach milkshake. All that will go down easy. Here it is on the screen. Be sure and enter to win tickets, to Bristol Motor Speedway's night race activities. Again, the Bush's Beans 150. Eric Goodell back in to defend his crown in that Chevrolet. UNOH, of course, University of Northwestern Ohio 200. The Camping World Truck Series. Ben Kennedy in the Chevrolet back to defend his crown. And, of course, the Food City 300 right here. It's Austin Dillon back to defend his crown. All three in Chevrolets. And, of course, we're giving away tickets to all three of these races. These two, UNOH and the Bush's Beans, on Wednesday night, August the 16th. On August the 18th, the Food City 300, Dale Jr.'s final run in the Xfinity Series at Bristol Motor Speedway. And so all you got to do is go to TomDillerSports.com/contest, and there you be. And it's going to be good and going to be a lot of fun. And good luck. We'll give those tickets away, as we see right here, on August the 11th. Let's take a look at NASCAR again. The silly season continues, although one of the big pieces of the puzzle was cleared up early this morning. It was announced by Team Penske that the organization has reached an agreement with Brad Keselowski to return and remain with that team as the driver of the number 2 well into the future. Multi-year extension ensures that the 2012 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series champion and the 23-time race winner on the Cup Series will continue to be an integral part of Team Penske, only team he's driven for full-time over the course of his 10-year career. So that announcement, again, coming right after the fact that they have also retained his crew chief, Paul Wolfe, to a multi-year extension. So Team Penske set for the future with Joey Logano and now Brad Keselowski. We kept waiting and waiting. They finally got all the I's dotted and T's crossed, and so Brad Keselowski will be back with Team Penske for 2018 and beyond. As we told you yesterday, we were in Hardee's in West Virginia, that Dale Jr. will... Yeah, Mike Hedrick told us that yesterday on the phone. Of course, Dale Jr. is confirmed. He will be in the broadcast booth next year at NBC Sports. They're going to be having this guy all over the place. Movies, television, podcast, other areas, including football and even the Olympics maybe. So Dale Jr. is opening up a brand new career, and he's going to be in TV, on TV I should say, maybe in the movies, podcast, other areas, including football, perhaps even the Olympics. So go figure. This guy is much sought after, 14-time fan voted most popular driver in NASCAR, and so he's going to step away from the sport next year and get into probably a much safer climate in the broadcast booth and in movies and podcasts. So pretty cool stuff. Here's your points heading off to Pocono this week, where Chris Buescher is the defending champ of the race, coming up on Sunday in the Pennsylvania 400. Martin Truex Jr. is your 48-point leader over Kyle Larson. Kevin Harvick third, Kyle Busch fourth, Denny Hamlin currently fifth. Then rounding out the top 10, Brad Keselowski, Jamie McMurray, Chase Elliott, and the Napa Chevrolet for Rick Hendrick, Matt Kenseth, and Jimmy Johnson rounding out the top 10 in points. And next stop this weekend will be in Pocono for the Pennsylvania 400 at Long Pond, Pennsylvania, going back through for the second time to going back and for the second time, I should say, going back around for stop number 2 of the 2017 NASCAR season. Quick break. Got more for you coming up right after this break. We're live here again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City on the Tom Dillon Sports Show. Again, show number 564, 22 days away from the truck race, 24 days away from the Food City 300, and 27 days away from America's Night Race, the Bass Pro Shop NRA Night Race at Bristol Motor Speedway.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here are the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance. We follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, it goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad-spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Dillon Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossing in North Johnson City. Lunch has sprung. It's good. Now, you got to check out the Smokehouse Barbecue Chicken. I'm talking very good Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich. And so, with waffle fries and, of course, your choice of a Dr. Pepper drink, get the meal or you get the just get the sandwich. It's all good. So, it's happening right here, too. It is busy, but never too busy for you because they get them in, get them out, get them on the way. So we're live here again, as we said, at the Crossings in North Johnson City at Chick-Fil-A. We'll be here tomorrow as well. Thursday will be at Champion Chevrolet. And Friday, brand new stop will be at the Sprint store on North Rome Street in North Johnson City. Got some great specials coming up this weekend. So we're going to be at Sprint on Monday. Where we're going to be Monday? Monday, we're going to be, where will we be Monday? I don't know where I'm going to be Monday next week. I don't know where I'm at half the time this week. So Monday I'm going to be I'm not sure where I'm going to be at. Oh, I'm going to be at Blue Lizard. I'm sorry, Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen on Monday. Tuesday scheduled to be Bracken Paving. Wednesday right back here. Next Thursday will be at Champion Chevrolet. And the next Friday, a week on August the 4th, will be at Eastman Road, Food City on the Food City Friday. Next Thursday, August the 3rd, we're going to be live broadcasting from the St. Jude's Putt-Putt Golf Tournament in Kingsport. And we'll take the show there on a Thursday evening and broadcast. It's a week from Thursday and broadcast the St. Jude's Putt-Putt Golf Tournament. So we're looking very much forward to doing that. That's not this Thursday, but a week from Thursday. We'll have more to say about that coming up in a moment. Pro football news, Colin Kaepernick is the only free agent quarterback who's had some trouble finding a job this offseason. Finding a new team to play has also been difficult for RG3, Robert Griffin III. He was cut with the Browns back in March, and not much as far as an opportunity to play again, but that's all changed as he has been invited today to work out for the Chargers. The trip to Los Angeles will mark Griffin's first free agent visit of the offseason, and so RG3's phone hasn't exactly been ringing off the hook. So over the last 4 months, the free agent quarterback's only scheduled one other visit, had to cancel that one. So again, he is going to try out today with the Chargers in Los Angeles. John Elway has been linked with the Broncos organization since 1983. That's not going to change for at least 5 more years. Elway and the Broncos have agreed to terms on a 5-year extension that will keep Elway in place as the team's general manager, executive vice president. Although the numbers in his deal haven't been revealed, ESPN has reported the new contract is expected to make Elway the highest paid general manager in the National Football League, which obviously would be somewhere between $6 and $7 million per season once it's signed. So big news for the Broncos and John Elway, keeping him in the Mile High City. More pro football news. The Dallas Cowboys prosecutors say there's insufficient evidence to file sexual assault charges against Michael Irvin, the former football star for the Dallas Cowboys. 27-year-old woman accused Irvin of drugging and sexually assaulting her at the W Hotel in Fort Lauderdale back in March. 51-year-old Irvin denied the allegations. There's insufficient evidence to file charges, adding they would have a difficult time getting a conviction. And so Michael Irvin is insufficient evidence against him, so apparently all that's going to go away. At least he hopes it does. So that's the very latest on a revolving door, it seems like, of problems for the Dallas Cowboy football team. We know about Ezekiel Elliott here during this offseason. Here's a former player. Michael Irvin says insufficient evidence to file sexual assault charges against Michael Irvin. So, 27-year-old lady accused him of drugging her and sexually assaulting her at a hotel in Fort Lauderdale back in March. So, that's the very latest there. Apparently not enough to pin anything on him. I don't know how that works. If you did it, you did it. But apparently they're saying he didn't do it. College football. Florida has not experienced success in the quarterback position since Tim Tebow was there. However, Jim McElwain has done a good job of getting the most out of that position during his time in Gainesville. And so, Matt, I've heard it pronounced both ways, Corral and Corral, C-O-R-R-A-L. I'm going to say Corral. Matt Corral, the number 2 pro-style quarterback in the class of 2018, and the number 23 overall player in the country, has shut down his recruitment and committed to play for the Florida Gators. Big news to the Gators. Corral is the top-rated quarterback for Florida since 2011. He's from Long Beach, California, and he decommitted from Southern Cal last month. So the Gator staff did a good job of pouncing on the U.S. Army All-American to improve their depth at the quarterback position. So Matt Corral is now going to be a Florida Gator. And, of course, the starting job competition just for next year, 2018, just heated up. Felipe Franks, Kyle Trask are the guys in camp right now as students of Florida. Malik Zaire will be the guy in 2017, and then it'll be up for grabs. And he is scheduled, by the way, to be an early enrollee, meaning the quarterback battle is sure to be the top storyline for the Gators next spring. Let me give props to the Johnson City Press here as we're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, and we want to give props to them because in their paper today got a couple of stories involving East Tennessee State University. One of those, Patrick Good, leaving Appalachia State, pulled out of the school on his scholarship and is re-enrolled to play basketball closer to home at East Tennessee State University. We will have to sit out this year, but he'll have 3 years of eligibility when he is eligible a year after next. So big news there. Patrick Good leaving Appalachia State. Former Crockett star in Jonesboro. Of course, his father, John Good, is the coach at Crockett, and so he is pulling out from Appalachia State, coming back to East Tennessee State, sitting out a year, but will have 3 years of eligibility. And the Marisite twins' career at East Tennessee State for the Lady Bucks apparently over. Kayla and Kelsey Marisite names no longer listed on the Bucks roster. ETSU spokesman Michael White, who we've had here on the show many times, confirming yesterday the sisters from Elizabethton are, quote, no longer in the program. And so in one season, Kayla averaged in 23 games about 2 points a game. Kelsey averaged about 2 points a game. Two are reportedly still enrolled at East Tennessee State, but are no longer on the Lady Buck basketball team at East Tennessee State University. So either they're going to stay where they are, or they're going to move on and transfer and play basketball somewhere else. Obviously, they can play, leading Elizabethton State Championship for the Lady Cyclones with then coach Lynn Duggar. And that's a look, clearing up the sports desk a little bit there. We were in West Virginia yesterday, so out of fairness, with the second highest rated show or second highest watch show we've ever had. So obviously there's folks back in West Virginia that are watching. We appreciate that. The feeling stuck in Marshall tight end Ryan Juracek's crawl after last season, a 3-9 season. The Thundering Herd, after 2 trips to the Conference USA title game, a conference title, and 3 bowl games in the previous 3 seasons, finished 3-9 in 2016. And so Juracek, again, saying that it was a feeling that tough to swallow. So they're going to try and turn their fortunes around this year, the Marshall Thundering Herd and their big tight end. This guy's got big time written all over him. He'll probably be playing on Sunday somewhere next year. But he's got another year, of course, with the Thundering Herd. Ryan Juracek, Y-U-R-A-C-H-E-K, Ryan Juracek, the big tight end for the Thundering Herd, saying we want to change things. We're going to start on September the 2nd with a 6:30 kickoff against Miami of Ohio at Joan Edwards Stadium in Huntington. So that's some news coming out of West Virginia over the tight end Ryan Juracek. Had a nice visit yesterday with Rick Whitman, the St. Albans baseball coach. Pretty cool, state baseball champion. Beat his buddy, former coach, assistant coach. It was interesting how their careers have intertwined. They've even roomed together back in the day. So when he beat Hurricane for the state baseball championship, kind of bittersweet. And he said, man, I hated beating him except, and he grinned with a twinkle in his eye yesterday and said, he already has the state championship, so I didn't feel too sorry for him when I whipped up on him. So there you go. It's good stuff yesterday. We had a good time, and we appreciate the opportunity to go back to West Virginia. Again, our second most watched show, 3,200 and over 3,200 views and still growing, and we appreciate that from yesterday. Our all-time high was a couple of weeks back at Food City. at Euclid Avenue in Bristol. We had over 4,000 views, so show continues to grow. Don't forget the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show starts on August the 17th. On Thursdays from Champion Chevrolet, we're going to give you a very in-depth preview of high school football and college football getting ready for the start of the season. We will have our co-host will be Dave Angie from the Johnson City Press. Doug Fritz is going to be here later on the show today. Will be one of our contributors with the other high school big games of the week around here. Joe Avento and some of the other folks. We got our kind of a rotating, going to give you a Buck preview every week of the East Tennessee State Buccaneers. Kevin Harmon's going to give us an in-depth UT preview every week for the Tennessee Volunteers and their opponent. We've also got some folks lined up to give you a Hokie preview every week of the Virginia Tech Hokies, the other regional school in this neck of the woods. Carmichael's going to give us a weekly, the top 5 big games of the week on the national scene. So all that's coming up beginning on Thursday, August the 17th, the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. It'll be originating from the showroom at Champion Chevrolet. We're very excited about that, and so they are too, they being Andy Dietrich and also, of course, Tim Copenhaver, the co-owners of Champion Chevrolet, the #1 Chevy dealer in the state. From Mountain City to Memphis, nobody sells more Chevys in the great state of Tennessee than Champion Chevrolet. And that show starts on Thursday, August the 17th, the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. We'll have Dave Angie here tomorrow talking about that and sports in general, but we're going to be treating about a half hour to our buddy Doug Fritz from the Johnson City Press going to join us coming up here a little bit later on in the show. We'll take a quick break, come right back, have more to tell you about. We're live here again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, show number 564 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Don't forget to go right here and enter to win tickets to the Bristol Motor Speedway's night races. TomTaylorSports.com/contest. Absolutely no purchase necessary. We'll announce the winners coming up on August the 11th. And again, tickets to the Wednesday doubleheader. The Bush's Beans 150 or the NOH 200, the Camping World Truck Series. Eric Goodell, the defending champ of that race from a year ago, driving the Chevrolet. And Ben Kennedy is the defending champ of this race, again from a year ago, and also in a Chevrolet. And then on Friday night, August the 18th, the Food City 300, the final run for Dale Earnhardt Jr. And, of course, that'll be coming up again at Bristol Motor Speedway, as they all will be, on that Friday night, August the 18th. You can win tickets to TomTaylorSports.com/contest. And let's check out. We have shown you the short version. Let's show you the long version. This is about 1:55. It's a great piece put out by the Speedway. We're very privileged that they allow us to air this. But here is the about 1:55 video of Dale Jr. And he was a kid. He came to Bristol Motor Speedway all the time as a little guy with his late father. And so, cool video. Check this out. This is a promotional piece for Dale Jr. coming to Bristol Motor Speedway here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Final lap for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Bristol is special to me because I've been going there since I was a little kid. I remember watching races on top of old vans and stuff from the infield with my buddies, and wishing I was out there and wondering what it would be like to eventually race on the track one day. There's a lot of things that change over time. One of the things that doesn't change is Bristol.
And here's Dale Earnhardt going by his son to take over the 8th position.
160,000 here in Bristol on their feet. Heavily partisan crowd at a place where his father had so much success. And tonight, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is here after winning the night race at Bristol.
Welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway. It's billed as the last great Coliseum, and this place lives up to the hype.
The racing there is the standard for short track racing.
Look at Junior getting a great start. Let me tell you, don't count that 88 out. He's pretty darn good.
If you're not a race fan and I send you to Bristol, you're gonna be a race fan when you leave.
Hell yeah! Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins the Sharpie 500 at Bristol.
And this is one of the biggest wins in my career.
Why is that?
It's Bristol, baby!
So after watching that, why would you not, again, get right in here and try and win tickets to Food City 300 and or the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race coming up. Of course, we're giving away tickets to Food City 300 and, of course, this doubleheader on Wednesday. So multiple winners, by the way, coming up on August the 11th. Be sure and go right here at TomTaylorSports.com/contest. And I know when we gave away tickets to Dollywood last week, Bill Nidifer won it. We had entries from over 11 states. So this is the last go-around for Junior at Bristol Motor Speedway, his favorite track. So get in there and get qualified, and folks already have been, and it's a really cool thing to be doing, and we appreciate you doing that as well. All right, Nick Saban's got problems. Saban says, has lots of problems. Saban says, I think he's got a good point here. The gauntlet has been dropped, I guess, for lack of a better term. We'll jump in here. We got Doug Fritz coming up here in a little while. Again, from the Johnson City Press. We're here live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. 7 months since Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey skipped their bowl games. Said they didn't want to take a chance getting hurt to getting ready to go to the pros. Yes, ma'am, it is. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. So Saban wonders, ducking out for the pros before a bowl game becomes a college trend, or even worse. And I guess you got to consider this. Same thing will happen in high school. They make the signing date before the season. So he says, Saban says, I can see this happening. It may take a few years. Some kid says, hey, I'm getting ready to go to XYZ. I'm going to West Virginia. I'm going to Tennessee. I'm going to Ohio State. I'm going to Notre Dame. I'm going to Florida State. So I'm not going to play my senior year. I'm not going to play in the state playoff games. Whatever game. Not even, maybe just the whole season. maybe just a certain particular game, they're just going to sit out because they don't want to take a chance of getting hurt. Saban was referring to the possibility that the new December signing day could be moved even earlier. Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bowlesby reiterated there could be an even earlier signing period, possibly as long as 60 days or obviously 2 months in the fall. Well, so again, if you sign in the fall, let's say it's me, and I've gotten a scholarship to Marshall, which is where I want to go. We are Marshall. Or, I don't know, pick one. Tennessee, Ohio State, pick a school. It's my senior year. We got a 60-day signing period in the fall. It says, okay, where you want to make your commitment known? And I'll say, I want to be a Marshall Thundering Herd. And I don't want to take a chance of getting hurt my senior year. I've already got a 4-year scholarship lined up, ready to go based on what I've done either my freshman, sophomore, junior years. So I'm not going to play my senior year. I'm going to go ahead and sign early, work out, get ready to go, let them put me on their workout program, and we'll skip my senior season of football. He said, nah, it's not possible. Of course it's possible. It's very doable, and it's very, very possible. Atlanta Falcon president Rich McKay says, quote, I'm disappointed. I don't like this trend. I don't like the thought. I respect the decision. They get to make the decision, but I think it's the wrong one. How about these guys sitting out their bowl games? So Leonard Fournette from LSU, Christian McCaffrey from Stanford skipped their bowl games so they could be ready for the NFL and not take a chance of getting hurt. So he says, Nick Saban says this could be a trend that'll trickle all the way down to high school. I say he's got. I say he's on to something, because these kids, unrealistic expectations at times. Some of these kids, no question, they're going to go play at Division I on a Saturday, or even Division II, or even NAIA or Division III. Some of these kids won't, but some of them will be duped into thinking, nah, you don't want to play your senior year. It'll increase your chances of getting a scholarship. So as a result, they won't. So Saban, his comments last week, and I think he's on to something. I really do. I think there's a possibility these guys, which is a sad, sad commentary. You know, I said it when it happened, when Leonard Fournette set out, he cheated LSU. He cheated the fan base that paid big bucks to go to the ball game and the tickets. I was trying to see during the break. Let me just see where LSU went in the ball game last year. I can flip into my reference piece here. This is a fantastic magazine. I'm telling you, this is good stuff right here. LSU last year beat Louisville in the Citrus Bowl, beat them 29-9. Leonard Fournette sit out. So, in Stanford, where did Stanford play? If I can find it real quick. Let's see here. It may not be as easy to find because, anyway, I think the point's taken. I think they make a great point. Unfortunately, here we go. Stanford, USC Trojans, Pac-12. See if I can find it real quick. The Utah Utes, Colorado Buffaloes, Arizona State Sun Devils, Arizona Wildcats, Stanford Cardinal. Last year they beat North Carolina in the Sun Bowl 25-23 without Christian McCaffrey. So both of their teams won, but again, rehashing, those two players said, I'm not going to play in my bowl game my senior season because I may take a chance of getting hurt, and I want to be healthy and not injured for the upcoming NFL draft. So they didn't play. LSU and Stanford got cheated out as a team. Their teammates got cheated out because they weren't there to represent them. 4-year scholarship, you play football for LSU, you play football for Stanford. This is not about you, it's about the team. School gave you the scholarship, school gave you the chance to play the game and the talents that you could use. And I know the argument is, well, but it's a meat factory. We're making all this money off these college guys, they're not getting anything for it. I get that to a point, but if you look in the mirror and see who you are and like who you are and respect who you are, you have signed a scholarship to play football for a particular school. You need to honor it. And so as a result, when Fournette and McCaffrey didn't play in the bowl games, they cheated their teammates because these guys obviously are very, very good. They went high in the NFL draft, and they're going to be, should be big stars, barring injuries, on Sunday in the NFL. But they, again, cheated their teammates. They cheated the fan base. They paid big tickets to go to the Sun Bowl and the other bowl, the Citrus Bowl. The fans traveled to see the best of the best, and Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey weren't there. So the alumni got kind of a raw deal too. I mean, nobody won on this deal except these two individuals, Christian McCaffrey and Leonard Fournette, at the expense of everybody else. So Saban's saying, what could happen is this could trickle down, and the same thing could happen on high school. Tom Taylor is XYZ star at XYZ school, getting ready to play football next year, and to avoid blowing out a knee or getting hurt in the course of a 10, 12-game season, just not going to play. He said, no, that'll never happen. Who would have thought guys would have set out their senior season? Mark my word, it's not going to stop. It'll get more prevalent as this season comes up too. Some of these big names, the NFL draft next year, they will skip a bowl game or a big game to take care of themselves. And, of course, that's all about the entitlement. It's all about me instead of we. And, of course, the other side of the argument, you may be saying, yeah, but look, these guys, they play for universities and make big bucks off their football programs, the television packages. These guys get nothing, so why would you not protect yourself in the NFL draft? I get that to a point. But, again, if I sign a 4-year scholarship and I'm to honor that scholarship for the whole 4 years till I graduate, I'll play the football game. That's just me, but maybe I'm wired differently. But I think if I didn't play, I would, same as these guys, I would be gypping my teammates, wouldn't be doing them right, wouldn't be doing the fans right, come to watch me play if I was a hot rod football player. So for a lot of reasons, I think it's wrong. And Saban does too, and I agree with him. Of course, I agree with most of the things Nick Saban says. I think he's spot on. I think he's got his finger on the pulse. A lot of folks don't like him because he makes a lot. And say, I'm going to get on my soapbox there. A lot of folks don't like Nick Saban because he makes a lot of money. Okay. If someone walks in today and says, I'm going to pay you $12 million to do this show, nah, I don't want it. Or whatever he gets paid. He gets paid a lot of money to coach the Alabama Crimson Tide. But you know what? He produces. It's not like this guy's a bust. Like some coaches get paid a big check and got nothing to show for it. This guy's in the hunt again. He has 10 preseason All-Southeastern Conference players on the first team's offensive defense. He's preseason top 3 or 4 in the country. Some make him number 1, some make him number 2. So the guy gets it done. So it's free enterprise. It's America. So I think a lot of it's just flat out jealousy because guys don't like him making a lot of money, and other coaches as well. But, given the opportunity, if you're in the same position he's in, would you say, no, I don't want to make it? Or would you do like Derek Carr did with the Oakland Raiders? It's a lot of money. I'm not sure I'm worth it, but I'm going to take it, and I'm going to use it to help other people. That's the right attitude. He said, He said, a lot of people are going to get blessed from this money that I made, this contract I've signed, because I'm going to give it away and tithe it. I'm going to give it away to some organizations that need it. I like that. So anyway, got on my soapbox about Nick Saban, but the guy gets it done for Alabama. Say what you want to. In fact, all right, let's build a case for Alabama. I don't need to, but I will, just because I got this magic book. I love this book. Phil Steele's football. What's it called? Phil Steele's College Football Preview. It is awesome. Here it is. I'll give it to you one more. If you want to, I'm making nothing out of this, plugging it, but it's a good publication. Nick Saban, 11th year at Alabama. He's 119 and 19. 119 wins, 19 losses. At home, the Crimson Tide 63-7. On the road, they're 36-6 against top 10 teams. When Alabama plays top 10 teams, there's some other coaches love to have this record. Nick Saban is 25-8 against top 10 teams. So, yes, he's making a boatload of money. I guess from a success ratio, he's earned it. And it's free enterprise. And if you can make it, get it. And then what you do with it's between you and the Lord. But anyway, I have no problem. Nick Saban on a lot of fronts. I think philosophically he makes a lot of sense. So, and I think this point he's making about the high school is very much a problem that could happen. It could rear its ugly head. We got putt-putt coming up next Thursday. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday. Sure hope you'll be a part of it. We were over there playing putt-putt the other day, and I shot 89, 90. It's terrible. Whatever it was, wasn't any good, but had fun doing it with the little people. The 8th annual putt-putt tournament coming up. The Gold Wing Riders Association, Chapter C in Tennessee, presenting the 8th annual putt-putt tournament for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Putt for a Cure. It's not this Thursday, but a week from Thursday, August the 3rd, at Putt-Putt in Kingsport. We're going to be there broadcasting the show for a little while. Registration starts at 5. Tournament starts at 6 on that Thursday evening. 4-person team captain's choice, $25 a person, $100 a team. Everybody can play putt-putt. And, of course, they're going to have a silent auction. All the food is donated. So when you buy burgers and hot dogs, whatever you buy from the folks there during the tournament, it's all been paid for. So it all goes into the kitty. I mean, we're talking this thing raised, and the weather's good, $20,000, $25,000. It is a serious fundraiser for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. We currently have 90 kids from our region, from a 5-county region, unfortunately, using the services of St. Jude, but fortunately, it's there, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, to help these kids. And so the registration starts at 5. The tournament starts at 6 next Thursday a week. There's going to be music there by Benny Wilson and Ivy Road and Asylum Suite. Again, if you want to play, Gary Taylor's your contact. I'm sorry, Tom James your contact at 323-2239. 323-2239 is the number to call. That's a week from Thursday. Of course, you just walk up and pay and play when you get there. There's going to be a 50-50 tickets. There's going to be a silent auction. There's going to be, all kinds of ways to win cool stuff. So they got some silent auction items over there on the tables. They have the 50-50 bucket where you throw the money in, and the winning ticket, you know how it works. You get 50% and they get 50%, so it's all good. And so we would encourage you to be a part of that. As we said, not this Thursday, but next Thursday, August the 3rd, to the Putt Putt on Stone Drive in Kingsport. Tom Taylor Sports Show, thanks for being with us. It is, 12:15. We're going to take a quick break, come right back. Doug Fritz joining us at the bottom of the hour, talking lots of sports, including high school football. It is upon us. It is a busy time. We'll take a break. We'll come right back, and we'll carry on. Show number 564, brought to you by one of the great sponsors, good folks at Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen. This one's for your face. This is one all the Fisher people use. There's no parabens, no fragrances. I learned this from Jeff Bedard, the president and founder of Blue Lizard. This particular, it's called Face. It's available at all Food City locations. This particular one, when you bait your hook with other sunscreens, apparently the fish pick up on the scent and they won't bite because it chases them off. This has no parabens, no fragrances, zinc oxide formula, antioxidant enriched, dermatologist recommended. When the cap turns blue, the bottle changes color in harmful UV sunlight, which, like today, is a Blue Lizard day. And there it is, Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen. This is for your face. And a lot of the folks, again, that fish use this because when they get on their hands and apply it to their face, then if they're messing with the hook and all that, the fish doesn't pick up on the scent. Also, ladies love this one because you can put this on and apply your makeup above, because this is a gel formula, and you can put your makeup on over top of the Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen. This is Face. They got Sport. They've also got Sensitive. They've also got the one for the babies. Let me tell you about that one real quick, too, because this is the time of year. Up in West Virginia yesterday, saw a little kid. He was beat red, middle of the afternoon, thinking, Lord have mercy, tomorrow night when he goes to bed, he'll be burnt slap up. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen for babies. There it is. Again, it is, the bottle changes color, same thing. Titanium dioxide and zinc oxide formula. This is with a SPF 30+. Again, pediatrician recommended, broad spectrum protection for delicate skin, for little people, for babies. And so there it is, the Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen. Again, all these available at your local Food City, one of our great sponsors here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Quick break, we'll be right back. We'll talk more. What we got coming up? Get some NFL preseason football. We'll talk about that. Doug Fritz joins us coming up in a few minutes from the Johnson City Press. We're here 2 days, back here tomorrow. Our regular Wednesday stop here at Chick-Fil-A. Thursday will be at Champion Chevrolet. And Friday, brand new stop will be at the Sprint store in North Johnson City. We'll be there on Friday with some great specials putting out by Sprint before the end of July and the 1st of August. Back to school specials, they're calling it. So we'll be at the Sprint store talking Sprint. Of course, we're a proud card-carrying member of Sprint. And so we'll have that for you on Friday. So tomorrow, Chick-fil-A, Thursday, Champion Chevrolet, and Friday at Sprint here in North Johnson City. And this is our show number 564. Quick break. We'll be right back from Chick-fil-A, the Crossings, North Johnson City. You're watching and listening to the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
This is the place where you can forget all about work for a while and celebrate the good old U.S. of A. And take in the best bumper-banging, fist-waving, hero-making short track race of the year, the Bass Pro Shops NRA Night Race. And kids' tickets are just $10. Be there August 19th, because it ain't just another race. It's Bristol, baby.
Trucks, and more trucks at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. We have a huge selection of over 400 new Silverados to choose from, with over 700 total Chevrolets in stock, with savings that are bigger than our massive selection. Silverado Double and Crew Cab All-Stars, $11,000 off MSRP. Malibu LT, 20% off. 17 Colorado, $19,995. 17 Equinox, $21,445. Don't miss out on one of the best times to buy a new Chevrolet with savings that will leave you asking, how do they do that? At Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again on this Tuesday. We're here thanks to Grip Energy Drink. Of course, Grip Energy Drink, I love it. Drink it all the time. Had one yesterday coming back from West Virginia. Again, thanks yesterday again one more time for the folks at Hardee's, and also for the listeners and the folks in West Virginia. Our second, thank you, dear. Miss Carolyn, get me some more of this good iced tea. Our second highest watched show ever, over 3,200 views and still growing, so had a big time up there going back. Thanks to Grip Energy Drink again. Grip Energy Drink, lemon lime, pink grapefruit, root beer, pineapple, white grape, all use natural cane sugar. Again, all natural ingredients full of vitamin B, biotin, niacin. Of course, biotin good for your hair, your skin, and your nails. Also vegan friendly, full of B1, B12. Also, it helps with your glucosamine. Has glucosamine, helps with your joints. And so that's another thing to take into consideration when you're drinking Grip. And now they have the 2 sugar-free, the Ultra Orange and the sugar-free pink grapefruit. Only 5 calories, only 2 grams carbs, only 2 grams of carbs for the Grip Energy Drinks. So they're available at all food cities. Love it. They sell a whiz out of them, and this is the time of year they're really selling them when it's hot outside. So it's no, Jeremiah did not. It's been crazy, so I'm sure it's something I didn't do right, but we've had a little bit of glitch here this morning. We always have glitches. One of these days I'm going to have somebody on here, sitting right here, producing this crapping show so I can do my show and do my thing. It's drives me nuts. So one of these days very soon, somebody's going to be here, and you don't care because you're listening to the show. Somebody's going to be running all this so I can sit over there and just do the show. That's where we're headed. I'm going to make that happen. Let's see, Isaiah, the verse of the day. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. Unashamedly we do that. I have carried you since your birth, out of the book of Isaiah. I will continue to be with you and sustain you even when you have gray hair. That's good. I will always carry you. I will always sustain you. I will always rescue you. Keep your mind focused on me, and I will keep you in perfect peace. Isaiah 26:3-4, and Isaiah 46:3-4. So those are the verses of the day, again, here on the show. And obviously we're well into the show, but we dedicated it nonetheless to the man who hung on the cross. We always do that, and unashamedly do that, I might add. All right, we've got a big event coming up this weekend at Bristol Dragway, the Fitzgerald Peterbilt Semi-Casual Truck Show. Laid-back event taking place at Bristol Dragway this Friday and Saturday. Let's see, the show will feature a big rig judge truck show. So that's coming up again on the Fitzgerald Peterbilt Semi-Casual Truck Show coming up this weekend at Bristol Dragway. All right, what else going on? Let's pass on to you, Food City. This is going on through August the 1st, which is next Tuesday. The Paralyzed Veterans of America, their 7th-year partnership with Food City. NASCAR champion Richard Petty, of course, promoting all this. Now through August the 1st, when you shop at your local Food City, add $1, $3, or $5 onto your shopping experience. Customers wishing to make a contribution simply need to select the desired dollar amount at the end of your shopping experience. It'll be added to your total. Again, a pledge of $25,000 from Arctic Coolers got it all started. And so to date, Food City has raised over $800,000 to benefit the Paralyzed Veterans of America. Again, this is an important campaign. It's called the ABLE campaign, which is a dedicated effort to create an America where our most severely injured heroes have access to what they've earned and deserve: care, jobs, and benefits. I'm all about that. Of course, a lot of these, obviously the name of the organization, Paralyzed Veterans of America. So when you shop at Food City between now and August the 1st, just add $1. If everybody added $1, everybody shopping at Food City added $1 to their shopping experience, look what it would do for you, because it gives you a $1, $3, and $5 donation. Look what we'll do to these veterans. Again, 100% of what we raise goes right to the Paralyzed Veterans of America. And so a $1, $3, $5 donation available to check out. So check it out. Please consider helping again to the Paralyzed Veterans of America. Let's take a look at NASCAR. What's the rest of the schedule for the rest of the month? We have, of course, coming up the Pennsylvania 400 at Pocono coming up on Sunday. That'll wrap up the month of July. In August, they go to the road course in Watkins Glen on August the 5th. On August the 12th, the Pure Michigan 400 at Michigan International Speedway. Then, of course, they come rolling into the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race in Bristol on August the 18th. They skip a week and go back into the Labor Day weekend for the Bojangles Southern 500 in Darlington. And also in September, they go to Richmond, Chicagoland, New Hampshire, and the Dover Fall race in Dover, Delaware. So those are the races coming up. But the next ones between now and Bristol would be Pocono this weekend, then Watkins Glen in Michigan, and they're coming our way, the Bass Pro Shop NRA night race, again at Bristol Motor Speedway. And again, let's hit those tickets again where you can register to win tickets to the Food City 300 right there. Hit it. Boom, there it is. Enter to win tickets to the Bristol Motor Speedway night races. Again, here's your doubleheader on Wednesday. The University of Northwestern Ohio, or the UNOH 200, the Camping World Truck Series, and also the Bush's Beans 150. Then also on August the 8th, that's on the 16th, on August the 18th will be the Food City 300, Bristol Motor Speedway, and the final run for Dale Jr. in the Xfinity Series. And so that'll be coming up again, as we said, on August the 18th. Again, we'll announce the winners on August the 11th, which is in a couple of weeks. TomTaylorSports.com/contest. As we said, our last time we did the contest with the Spring National tickets, we had, 12 states represented. The Dollywood tickets we gave away last week, Bill Nida for Bristol, one of them's already used them. The Dollywood tickets, we had 12 states, 10 or 12 states, 11 states, 11 states represented then a couple of weeks back. So we had all those. My man's in He looks exasperated. It's busy here. He is thinking, why did I sign up for this shift? My buddy Doug Fritz in the house. We're going to talk to him coming up here in just a second. Before we go to the break, we'll take a break, and Doug will be ready to go with us. Again, let me tell you again why we have the hair, what we're doing. It is PanteneBeautifulLinks.com. Growing a hair to create a free real hair wigs for ladies going through radiation or chemotherapy. So they take hair like what we've got and weave it into a wig, and so not just mine with others. So these are real hair wigs to all women who've lost their hair due to cancer treatments in partnership with the American Cancer Society. PanteneBeautifulLinks.com, and we appreciate the opportunity to do that. And again, check them out at PanteneBeautifulLinks.com, and again, we will do that once it hits the appropriate length. And so I lost my dad and my biological mother and my stepmother to cancer, so this is my small way of giving back to this cause. So PanteneBeautifulLinks.com. Quick break. We'll be right back. We will jump in there and talk to my man Doug Fritz from the Johnson City Press. High school football. It is here. It's showtime. We'll talk to you about that next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Back again to the Tom Taylor Sports Show. There he is. Let's get him on the screen. There's our buddy Doug Fritz, John City Press. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
I wish it was busy here. There's not much going on here at Chick-Fil-A, is there?
They just can't seem to get the crowds in here. I mean, it's 85 cars in the drive-thru and 75 people in line here inside it. And they're turning them over fast, too, which is what. And they still have those lines, so.
There is no moss growing on these people's shoes around here. They get them in, get them out, and get them on down the road.
I think Chick-fil-A is one of the most popular in the nation. And even though they don't, I mean, do they even go up into the north and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
so place, yeah.
Interesting
about these folks is they're closed on Sundays for the Lord's Day, and their sales numbers rival those that are staying open 7 days a week. So people told me it's a fluke. I said, oh, no, it's not a fluke. That's called honoring the Lord, being off on the Sabbath. And he's honoring, in this day and age, when people are closed on Sunday, you better believe he's going to give them a little extra oomph.
Yep.
This is how I feel. All right, high school football. Doug Fritz, John City Press with us. And yesterday we were in West Virginia. Again, we had the second most watched show ever. Had over 3,200 views, and it continues to grow. One of those guys, we'll morph into the high school football segment with you.
Thank you.
One of the guys that played football at Dobbins, been it back in the day, Aaron Ferguson, who's now at Marshall. Graduated from Marshall, I should say, now in Huntington, two-time All-American. We spoke to him and got a good review about his days of playing at DB, and, of course, moving on to play at Marshall. So, and that's what it's all about. These guys play, go on to college, and then, go out in the real world and get a job. But they always go back to those glory days of playing high school football. So, having said all that, we're getting ready to start another chapter of the glory days of high school football. Some of these kids are going to be making memories for the rest of their lives with football season, because it's here, practice has started, and it's showtime, right?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, they got after it yesterday. I think the weather is calmed down just a little bit from what it was at the end of last week, and they got to go out there. This is the part of football that the fans don't see. The behind-the-scenes work, the sweat, the sprints in the 90-plus degree weather, and the hard work. They see the uniforms, the Friday nights where it's still hot, but it's nothing like it is now in the middle of the day and stuff. So this is where a lot of time games are won. The teams that work the hardest in these dog days, that prepare themselves the best, gives them, I think, a better chance to stay healthy during the season. I mean, there's always going to be fluke injuries, but the better shape you're in, the better chance you're going to be able to stay healthy. And that's why you see these well-coached teams. A lot of times all that means is they're well-conditioned teams and kids that work hard.
Well, I know the TSSAA has put out mandates. There's weather checks, there's temperatures checks, there's humidity checks, there's lots of built-in water breaks. These guys, back in the day when I played, they had to take those salt pills and then run you to almost throw. In some cases, you threw up. They wanted you to throw up. So that's kind of went with the boards. But point being, safety comes first in this kind of weather for high school football.
It really does. And you talk back when I played, you were, this is the honest truth, and the coaches weren't bad people. I mean, they were good men and stuff. They just didn't know any better. But you were considered weak if you wanted water. Yep. And we were out practicing in 90 degrees, and it was like, I remember one guy he would take a gallon jug of milk, and a milk jug, but he'd fill it with water and he'd freeze it, and he'd bring it out to practice the next day and leave it sit in the hot sun so it would start to melt, and he'd have ice water to drink. And the rest of us would be looking over at him, hey, that's pretty good. Why don't we have that? But, it's the kind of thing where the people have learned. There have been mistakes made, and people have paid some awful prices for that through the years. But, I tell you, these coaches are in tune with it now. You talk to Stacy Carter and Sean Witten and these coaches around here, they know. Jeremy Jenkins, they take care of these kids now. It's health first. You've got time to get your team ready. You don't have to make them threaten their physical well-being.
We're talking to Doug Fritz, John City Press, TSSAA. How many preseason scrimmages are they allowed to have? And the season starts in a couple of weeks, and so is there a magic number they can have scrimmages?
There is, and I don't know off the top of my head if it's 2 or 3. It seems to me like that they've changed that number. Maybe they took it down a notch or something, but most teams don't really want any more than that, because anytime you're lining up against somebody else, you're increasing the chances of injury and stuff, and you don't want to, as good as it is to play, say for Greenville to scrimmage Maryville or something like that, as good as that is from a preparation standpoint, football's a little bit different. Basketball, they'll scrimmage anybody, but in football, you know, you want a tough scrimmage, but you don't want too many of them. You don't want to go too long, and you want to be healthy going into that first game.
You don't want to be too tough. You want to scrimmage, you don't want to be too tough.
I mean, it's different. I mean, you know, that's the toughest thing about being a high school football coach, I think, is you really want to prepare your team. You wouldn't want to play 10 softies and then go into the playoffs and try and beat somebody that's really good. But at the same time, if you played 10 really tough opponents, you're going to get beat up. You know, if Elizabethton played DB, Science Hill, Tennessee High, Boone, you know, Maryville, I mean, just went down the list and played all these big schools, by the time the playoffs rolled around, they'd have a shell squad out there, you know. It just wouldn't be the same.
I remember when I was doing DB, they played one year at North. That's way back in the day when the classification was all different, but North played DB, which was a total mismatch, but the home and away, when DB went over there to play, it was a big money game every other year because DB travels well, the band and all that. Concession stand made lots of money, a great gate. But I remember the night they played, I can't remember what the year was, but I remember two of their starters, and it was a football team. North didn't have the numbers DB had two kids break their arm on the first night it was the opening night of the year. And so North's team gets hampered the rest of the season because two of their stars had two guys broke their arms. So it was a financially good win or good game, but they took a beating literally in the numbers department. So yeah, there's a catch-22 for it, no question. We're talking to Doug Fritz. So again, you've had a chance to kind of keep your ear to the ground here. We keep talking about Science Hill having a lot of skilled talent. Elizabethton is loaded. Greenville's loaded. Who else are you hearing about right now?
Well, I think Daniel Boone and David Crockett both have really high hopes going in. I think they don't necessarily have, you know, Boone's got a nice situation at quarterback with Shelton coming back. They've got a lot of good skill players. Jeremy Jenkins talked about their line. He's concerned about the depth in the line, and you know, anybody that follows football that really knows the game, you know, you could have the best skill players in your conference and the worst line, and the chances of you winning that league are not that good because you've got to have people that can protect, give them time. If you're taking the snap and dropping back, you're getting killed. It doesn't matter how skilled you are.
Exactly.
So, you know, I think Boone's got some high hopes. Crockett's got some high hopes because they got a new coach. They've got some good, young, talented players there, I believe. I think Hampton and Happy Valley are really chomping at the bit to get it going. I think Clallan's chomping at the bit to get it going. You know, this year in high school football for Northeast Tennessee, maybe for the first time in quite a few years, this could be one of the better years in the last decade. And I'm not saying leaps and bounds better, but maybe right there at the top.
Well, obviously, for folks outside of the region that don't know what we're talking about, again, here in East Tennessee, we play a pretty good brand of football, but when we get into the playoffs, get into the Middle Tennessee teams and the Western Tennessee teams, we never do fare very, very well. We get in and we can have a powerhouse up here. We get down into Middle Tennessee, and we seem to kind of fade and get beat in the playoffs. So we're trying to knock that door down. That's what Doug's referring to. So, you know, you can do good up here in 10 games, but the ultimate goal is to win that state championship. And so until we can figure out a way, we being the teams up here, to compete on the statewide level, we're always going to have good seasons up here, but nothing really to show for it beyond that. But you're saying we're making progress in that endeavor, correct?
Well, I think so. And, you know, Greenville won a couple of state championships, and they made the championship game and lost a really, really tough loss and came back the next 2 years and won it. And until that happened, I think there was just at that point, there was just it's never going to happen again up here. That was back for the 60s, and when DB was to the Sullivan County All-Star team and that sort of thing, it's never going to happen again. But Greenville changed that, and I think now the belief is there. I think Elizabethton believes they can win a state championship. I think Happy Valley and Hampton, those type of schools, Cloudland, I think they believe now. They've seen it happen close by. I think they believe they can do it. But now, belief doesn't bring home the gold ball. You know, exactly. You got to have talent. You got to have a few good breaks. You got to be well coached. You got to be determined. Things got to fall into place. But I think that belief wasn't there before Greenville did, and I think it's there now.
One of the biggest games, we won't be able to watch it because it's going to be Friday night, the 18th. We'll be at the track doing the Food City 300 announcing, but it's a big night for a lot of teams, but certainly none bigger than Science Hill and Elizabethton here locally. And That's going to be a heck of a football game. Last year's what, triple overtime?
I think it was double overtime, and it was just an outstanding football game. You walk away from that thinking, I guess the one thing negative I walked away from that game thinking was, it's not going to get any better than this. I mean, you do it week one, and okay, that was the best game of the year.
We've been to the mountaintop.
And as it turned out, to me, it was the best game of the year until the Elizabeth and Alcoa game. So you got the bookends. I mean, how much more could you ask for Elizabeth than to have bookend games like that? So that was a great deal for them. They had an awesome season.
I saw the Alcoa game. Man, that was the one that was a state championship there as far as I'm concerned. But they did not win. The Elizabeth and Cyclones, a local team. Of course, again, West Virginia folks, their coach, Bashawn Witten, who's Jason Witten's brother, who's the tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. And so Elizabethton is a very, very strong football program, football team. Doug Fritz with us again from the Johnson City Press. All right, talk about this before you got here. I want to get your take on this. This is one of those trickle-down stories. Here's Nick Saban. Saban says, I want to get your take first off, last year Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey skipped their bowl games so they can protect themselves in the NFL draft and not take a risk of getting hurt. Saban said last week, we're going to see that trickle down to high school. That's where I want to bring you in because this guy's the high school expert, in my opinion. So, same thing happens in high school if they make the signing date before the season. There's talk about making it a 60-day signing season. The Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bowlesby says, and earlier they've put into place, if you missed it, NCAA said you have the typical first Wednesday in February. Now we have I can't remember, it's in December. That's a date in December where they can sign. Now this guy's saying, the Big 12 Commissioner says, let's give it a 60-day window in the fall, 2 months worth of chances to sign these guys early. Saban says we're nuts because here's what's going to happen. He says it'll take a few years, but some kid's going to say, hey, I'm going to Notre Dame, I'm going to Tennessee, I'm going to Ohio State, I'm going to wherever. I'm not going to play my senior year to risk being hurt. Saban says there's going to be a trickle-down effect. My question to you is, A, do you like the December signing date? Because, you've seen in February where you got coaches to get these guys, they pretty much ask them to do anything. I think one jumped in the pool and one jumped off a building, and they do all this crazy stuff, these head coaches of the big schools, to get these guys to sign. So now we're going into another signing date in December. And now Saban says this could trickle down and these guys could skip playing either a state championship game or state playoff game or their entire senior season in high school to save themselves for college. And you say what?
Honestly, I have to agree with Nick Saban there. I mean, I see
absolutely
the thing that jumps into my mind is the travel ball situation where people don't play basketball. They go off and play basically travel ball or go to these academies and stuff like that, and they say, I'm too good for high school because I'm going to a big-time university. Now, if they're doing that in basketball, why would they not do it in football? And it's a much greater injury risk in football than it is in basketball. I think you've got the knee injuries in basketball, but football, every play, you're risking an injury. Now, here's what I would say about a state playoff game or a state championship game. If a kid backs out of that because he says, I'm going to Notre Dame, so I'm not going to play my state championship game. If I'm Notre Dame, I'd try and find a way to get out of that deal.
So I don't want a kid playing.
I don't want a kid. But now, if a kid's playing for, and I won't name a school around here to defend anybody, but if the team's 4 and 5, and they're going to sneak into the playoffs and be in a situation in the first round, they're going to get beat 70-0, and that kid's a college talent, I couldn't fault him for not playing in that playoff game. So why put the kid in that situation to where he's got to make that decision about his future? Let him. I mean, everything is just coming down way too far into the high school ranks, and we're making these high school kids out to be, okay, he's ready for the NBA, he's ready for Alabama, he's ready for Vanderbilt baseball, whatever the case is. It's too early, it's too soon. I saw something the other day, there's 624 NBA players. It's on a commercial that LeBron James does, which kind of surprised me. It seemed like there's got to be more than that, but that's what they said. But anyway, it's like, really? So these kids, high school should be its own thing. Until a kid turns 18 years old, he's a kid. And even if he does happen to turn 18 years old in the middle of the football season or middle of the basketball season, they shouldn't be robbed of that. the vast, huge, overwhelmingly vast majority of these kids are not going to go on and play professional sports.
Exactly.
So why put them in a situation where they give up something they can never get back, and they're not old enough and mature enough to understand what they're giving up, and they're letting their teammates down? If you let your teammates down, what kind of a college athlete are you going to be?
See,
I mean, I just don't understand that.
I'm right there with him all points. So I've heard two schools of thought. I heard some of the national guys say Leonard Fournette skipping, Christian McCaffrey skipping, LSU and Stanford. See, LSU was in the Citrus Bowl, Stanford's in the Sun Bowl. These guys skip. Their teams won. But here's my school of thought. And I see their school, the national guys said, I'm all for it. He should skip to protect himself in the NFL draft because college football is a meat market, and these schools are making big money off these players. And so if they can save themselves for the NFL draft and make money for them, I agree. This is my thought process. If I sign my name on the dotted line to XYZ University for 4 years, the way I was raised, my hiney's out on that football field or basketball court or whatever, every game I can play for the entire time till I get my diploma. And I can't step back and go, no, I'm going to skip the XYZ Bowl because I want to protect myself in the NFL draft. Because no, if it wasn't for the university that signed me to play ball to begin with, I wouldn't have the opportunity to be seen and to get that scholarship. And that's my take. But the national people I've seen on some of the national shows said, no, Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey and all these other guys, because this is going to be a pattern. It's not going to stop. They have every right to not play these games and protect themselves. I totally disagree. I mean, if you sign up for the college, whatever college you sign up for, you owe it to these people. They're paying your way. They're putting you in a dorm and feeding you and giving you the best of the best training room, the best everything, weight facilities. And so I made the commitment. I can't just stop and go, no, I'm not going to play this last game. I may get hurt. That's not how I was raised. That's not right. But, again, other folks have said, absolutely, Leonard Fournette and Christian McCaffrey and all these other guys need to protect themselves.
Well,
which side do you fall on?
Well, let me ask you a question. What's the difference between the SEC championship game and a bowl game? So if Leonard Fournette's going to sit out a bowl game, and I know LSU wasn't in the championship game, and they may never be as long as they're in the same division with Alabama, but you tell me, what's the difference? What's it to sit out? Now, if he sat in an SEC championship game, what kind of blowback would there be on that? They'd hang him they'd vilify him and say what a horrible, he's not a teammate and stuff. So you're talking about a 30-day difference, or not even that with the SEC championship game. You're talking about a 20, 25-day difference. Why not just sit out the SEC championship game? In fact, let's say it becomes apparent LSU's not going to the SEC championship game and they're 7-4. I'm not going to play the last couple of games here, or they're 7-3. I'm not going to play those last couple of games because I already know I'm a first-round pick. I've done what I need to do. Let's just turn it off right here. Can the school stop him from doing that? Apparently not. So what if they start out 0-3 and he realizes the season's toast and he goes, hey, we're 0-3. We're completely locked out of the SEC championship game. I don't care about playing in the Sun Bowl. I'm cutting it off after 3 games. I mean, where does it stop?
Some of the NFL coaches have also went on record saying, if these guys are skipping the bowl games in college, I mean, it's like you said a few minutes ago, do I want them on my football team? I got to step back and take another look. I mean, if they'll quit in a college game, will they quit in the pro game? So,
yeah, especially the NFL teams. I mean, that's a money business. So if you're 5-5 in the NFL and you know you're not going to make the playoffs because you've got injuries, and you can just look at it, you've got 6 games that your fans expect you to play. And you see guys coming out in the NFL, they're playing on one leg, and they'll get out there and do anything they can to play because that's what's expected of them. But if a guy's going to just quit to protect himself, well, how are you going to get Leonard Fournette out there? He's with Jacksonville, right?
Yes.
Jacksonville goes 2-6. What are you going to expect for Leonard Fournette the next 8 games after they go 2-6? He's got that contract. I got to protect myself here. I think I've got a hamstring pull here. I'm not going out this week. I mean, what are you going? Did the coaches said, do I want that guy on my team?
We have created a me and not a we society, and it's everywhere. It's not just in sports.
Everywhere, in every facet of life.
Yep, it's an entitlement. What are you going to do for me?
I saw a good thing. They call the group of young people, they call them the millennials. And we were texting the other day, and somebody called them the me-lennials. Mm-hmm. And that's what. And I'm not obviously trying to say everybody's like that, but it's a selfie society, and that's, you know what. Look at me. Look what I did. And to some extent, you know, we're all guilty of it. If we're on Facebook, we're a little bit guilty of that. So, yeah.
Switching gears for just a second, talking to Doug Fritz from the Johnson City Press. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A. Patrick Good transfers from Appalachian State. Kind of knew he was coming back this way. I thought either King with George Pitts, where his dad played and coached for, or East Tennessee State. I had a 50-50 shot of being right. I was. He's coming back to play for the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State. Has to sit out a year, but has 3 years of eligibility. I think that's a win for both parties. What do you think? A loss for App State.
One thing, you're not only getting a kid that can play the game, you're getting a kid that makes other people around him better, but you're also getting just a kid who's just got high character, high morals, you know, that Steph Curry type atmosphere that he brings with him, and I'm talking about his personality and his beliefs. And that's a great family. And anytime you get a kid like that in your program takes a step up, and it's going to help overall. It's going to help the program. Plus, he can play. I mean, it's a great deal for ETSU.
Well, you also put fannies in the seats too, because all
absolutely.
of a sudden the Jonesboro contingency or the Crockett fan base, or just people around here remember Patrick Gooding played at a high school because he was
Science Hill, because he started there. You know, that people don't forget these things,
exactly.
And they want to see him do good, and they're going to come out and watch him.
So basketball fans in general will be able to come watch Patrick Good for the next 3 years. He'll sit out this year and have 3 years of eligibility. Again, leaving App State to come back home, if you will, to East Tennessee State University. Again, the other story, the Marisite twins no longer on the program at East Tennessee State with Lady Bucks, so they're still in school. I would assume with their talents they're going to play somewhere. Either going to, I guess they're going to transfer out and go find another place to play for whatever reason. The circumstances are still kind of unfolding, but they're not there. And so I can't imagine some college somewhere not wanting these two girls to come play. They won 1 or 2 state championships with Duggar, Elizabeth.
They won 1 and made it to the state tournament all 4 years.
Yeah.
All 4 years made the state tournament.
I can't imagine some school going, hey, I'll take one or both as a package deal, but they are no longer in the East Tennessee State Lady Buccaneer program. They're still in school, but again, I would say the opportunity for them to land someplace is about as sure as when I get done, I'm going to get me a peach milkshake. I think it's going to happen. So, and you watch them; these girls are tremendous talents, and as I said, the reasons they're no longer at East Tennessee State continue to unfold. But if I'm a college coach, I'm out there looking, I'm burning their phone up saying, "Hey, come play for me," and I think it's a no-brainer they'll end up somewhere, don't you?
Well, I already know some inside scoop on that, and that is one college coach is already practically begging them to come down there, and I'm not going to say what school because I don't know that I should. I don't know that I have that authority to do that, or right to do that. But I'm telling you, the calls are already coming in, and it tells you what type of players they are. And I know that they didn't have the type of freshman season that they wanted to have, but there's a lot of circumstances that were involved there, and I think they're still going to have very good college careers. And I think they're still going to stick together because that's what they do. They're twins, and they love each other, and they're going to stick together.
Don't fault them for that either. So don't fault them for anything. I saw Travis Maines at the Crazy H Road Race. He ran it this year. Did a pretty good job, but I was talking to him about his girls basketball team at Daniel Boone, and they've gone to a lot of camps this summer and played the big boys, or in this case the big girls, as far as star-powered teams across Tennessee. I said, well, how'd you do? And he just grinned real big. He said, we beat them all. I said, does that mean we got a team that can go somewhere? He said, we've got a team that can go somewhere. So we'll see. I mean, it's a ways off, but it really isn't. But Coach Maines, the Daniel Boone Lady Trailblazers, pretty high on these girls based on their camp success this season, or this summer.
And when Daniel Boone looks into the 2017-18 season, I think the thing that they really, obviously they've got to set their sights on winning the conference first, and Science Hill is going to be better. And somebody told me the other day they thought Science Hill might clip them at some point this season, but the Boone concentrate on winning the conference in the district. But the one thing that they need to do if they're going to get to the state this year is they need to win the region, and that needs to be their ultimate goal starting out. Again, getting the cart before the horse a little bit there, but obviously I think they're going to win. I think they're going to get to the region without any doubt. You got to win the region, have that sectional game at home, and I think if they do that, they're going to break through and get down to the state tournament for the first time ever in AAA. They made it couple, 3 times in AA, but I think they got a great shot of making the AAA state tournament this year.
Can folks? Are you a Twitter guy? Are you a social media guru? Can people tweet you?
I am a reluctant social media guy because I've been told I have to.
Yeah. So you are. They can tweet you if they want to.
Yeah.
At what's
at Fritz Blitz. It's FRITZ 3 Z's at the end of it. Fritz Blitz.
Fritz Blitz.
Because somebody already had the one without extra Z, so I just added a couple.
All right. You hungry? Hope you're hungry.
I'm thinking about that. You know what I'm thinking about? What I've been thinking about this morning since you called me is that barbecue chicken sandwich that they got. I get it on the multi-grain bun. That thing's a beast. I love it.
Smokehouse barbecue chicken. You got it. And a little bit of waffle fries and a Dr. Pepper or water, whatever you got, or your tea, whatever. So appreciate you coming. So we're looking forward to. What are you working on right now in closing? What's some of the stories you're working on?
I'm supposed to be on vacation this week. It never seems to. Well, I shouldn't say never, but sometimes it doesn't work out like that. But I am going to Elizabethton's Media Day on Thursday, so I'll get to see, the full scope of what they have to offer. So that'll be the next thing on Thursday. And
what time's it?
I think it's at 9 a.m. if I'm not mistaken. They do it early, which is great because these people do and fewer of them are doing them. And they used to schedule those things at 1 and 2 o'clock, and it'd just be awful out there. But they're doing it at 9 a.m. I think DB's is Thursday at 10 a.m. So we'll have somebody getting that one too. So
there you go. Doug Fritz. Fritz Blitz is his Twitter handle, not Twitter handle. All right. See, I don't know what I'm talking about. At Fritz Blitz ZZZZZZ. So there you go. Go get you something to eat.
All righty.
And I appreciate you.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, great guy. We will, again, wrap this thing up. It's been a great show as always, and we thank you again for allowing us to come and be with you. Of course, these are archives. You can go back and watch them. As we said yesterday with the folks that we had on yesterday, it was over 3,200 views. Continues to grow, and we appreciate that very much. So we're going to step aside. We'll be right back here tomorrow and do it all over again. Thursday at Champion Chevrolet, and Friday, brand new stop will be at the Sprint Store in North Johnson City. So again, for our guest, which is Doug Fritz of the Johnson City Press, we will have Alice Corker on tomorrow. She's representing the Lisa Harper Christian comedian coming to town. And we'll talk to her, and also William Yarber. Also tomorrow, Greg Salyer talking Major League Baseball. Dave Ange will be by talking the Johnson City Press, a cohort of Doug Fritz's, of course. So we got a full show lined up tomorrow, as we do on Thursday, as we do on Fridays, as we always do. So we are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Back in the saddle tomorrow at 11 o'clock, right back here at Chick-Fil-A. And again, as we always tell you, win or lose, be right here for show number 565 tomorrow of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So long, everybody.